Hey guys, and welcome to FantasyDonks.com. Today we will be drafting a team on draft day. As you can see, I haven't deposited on this site. This will be a site I do deposit on. It's one of my more favorite sites. It's very friendly. But right now I'm going to be showing you how to enter a team by using this bracket free roll. While it's loading the bracket free roll tournament, let me just explain the difference between a bracket tournament and a survivor series. In a bracket tournament, it's going to match me one-on-one with another player at random. Okay, I don't care for this format simply because if I'm the number 2 scorer for the week and I'm accidentally matched up against the number 1 scorer, I lose and I'm out of the bracket. Whereas in a survivor series, if I'm the number 2 scorer, I'm cleared in the top half of the field, right? I don't have to suffer a bad beat because of a random matchup pairing. So if you're wanting to play the survivor series tournaments or the brackets, I would lean towards playing the survivor series tournaments on one of the other sites. I do, however, like Draft Day's site for their smaller tournaments and for the 50-50s. But these bracket tournaments, I've seen too many people take bad beats when they had really good teams, and instead some guy that scores 75 points advances through down below because he plays somebody that forgot to set the roster. And I'm sorry, that's just not fair. But let's go to the purposes of this draft. Let's start selecting a team. As you can tell, this is a 2-quarterback site. Remember, this is standard 1-point PPR, and as you can see, they got rid of kickers, yay draft day, and replaced it with an extra flex position and with a quarterback, and they also upped the money. So for this team, let's go ahead and put a couple of players together. At quarterback, we're going to go ahead and start off with wow, Peyton Manning's expensive on here. Let's go ahead and start off with a we'll go one value quarterback, one stud quarterback, and try to make that work. Let's go ahead and take Carson Palmer down here versus San Diego, and then we'll take Matthew Stafford versus the Giants. Okay, now because we spent on Matthew Stafford, we're going to have to spend to get Megatron, which is going to be outrageous. But I mean, if you're going to play the Lions offense, you want to pair Matthew Stafford and Megatron together. It's just how you're going to roll if you're rolling their passing game. If you're rolling the running backs, you're fine picking one of the two of Reggie Bush or Joy Bell. But when you pick Stafford, it pretty much handcuffs you in to having to take Megatron, and he's almost as expensive as your quarterback. So let's go ahead and plug him in here, and this may do some weird things to our salary, and it may be price exclusive to make this combo, but the only way you're ever going to learn that in daily fantasy sports is by selecting the guy and seeing what the lineup you build, what the lineup looks like that you build around those guys. So we'll go ahead and take Megatron. That leaves us 8,777 per player, which puts us in a bad way. But we're going to go ahead and bump that really quick to give us a better perspective by taking a defense. So let's scroll down here. We're going for superstar points, so we don't care too much about our defense. We'll take the Raiders against the Jets because the Jets are terrible. So are the Raiders, though. Hopefully the Jets throw multiple interceptions, and that's how the Raiders defense scores. So we'll go that route since they saved us a bunch of money. Now we're back up to 9,500 per player, which is a little bit better. Let's go ahead and select our running backs now. As you can see, once you go a stud quarterback and a stud wide receiver, all these stud running backs are out of our price range significantly. So we're going to scroll down past them. And because we don't have a piece of the Denver offense yet, and I really like them this week, let's go ahead and take and put Money Ball on that team. That way this team is built where we say, a lot of the points scored in the Denver Colts game is going to be by Monty Ball. So that's the bet we're making here, basically. So we're going to scroll down, and we need another running back. We've got 9,180 per player left. If you've seen from other videos, Zach Stacy does have a juicy matchup against Minnesota. Let's see. I think this is a good team to spend just a little bit more on the running back position again, and we'll go ahead and throw Stacy on there as well. All right, we're down to 8,950 per player. We have one wide receiver spot left, a tight end, and two flexes. Let's look at wide receiver number 2. We've got. Remember how I always tell you that try to pair your wide receiver with your quarterback. You want that combo. So we're going to go and try to find us Carson Palmer's targets, which should be right in here somewhere. Okay, and if you notice on this site, Larry Fitzgerald is a little bit more expensive, and you have your choice of him or Michael Floyd for $100 difference. I'm going to go ahead and lock in Elfitz because I think Elfitz is a beast. That takes us down to 8,533 per player. See, unless we're willing to just throw a garbage dart at flex, it makes Jimmy Graham, Gronkowski, and Julius price exclusive for us, and also Jordan Cameron, in all honesty. We can reach a little bit out of our salary and pick up a Witten or an Olsen or a Reed or Pitta, and Pitta actually saves us money. So let's go ahead and, you know what, I'll show you guys what happens when you stud out too much on this lineup, and we'll go ahead and just stud up. We think Jimmy Graham's going to have a monster, so we're going to add him. See how much, like, we dropped to 6,475 by adding another Jimmy Graham, which puts us in a hard way for our two flex positions. So look, now we're stuck trying to find a super cheap dart in order to bump the second flex position money high enough to buy us somebody decent. So wow, there are some garbage people down here this low. So we could, a dart that would be decent to throw right here might be a Mohamed Sanu, because he's playing for the injured Marvin Jones in Cincinnati. You could also throw a touchdown vulture dart on LeGarrette Blount there and save some money. There are a lot of people that are high on Hakeem Nicks in the Indy game. I guess you could throw that dart there. Just looking around a little bit more, and there's even the Danny Amendola dart a little bit higher on the list, but not out of our price range. But let's go ahead and, for the purposes of this team, we are going to say the weak spot of our team is going to be flex 1, and that weak spot is going to be a Mohamed Sanu pick. And we're just going to hope he goes crazy today, and that's the hole in our team. Right? That leaves us 7,550 left, which puts us in Steve Smith, Marquise Lee, Tavon Austin, Delaney Walker, Rod Streeter range. I think that, wow. Yeah, let's go ahead and throw a dart at Lee too. So really, basically, if you notice what happened by us taking a stud quarterback, one of the stud quarterbacks, he's not even the most expensive, and his pairing Megatron, because they're so outrageously expensive together, it basically leaves you shy throwing darts at two flex positions, which can be very dangerous. Like, now, if this hits, it'll probably be a team that nobody else has put together, and I can crush it. But it's a little weak. in my personal opinion. But I mean, we do have a stud wide receiving core and a superstar tight end, really good back. I mean, like above average backs. Like, we don't know if they're going to be phenomenal, but we have good backs with good matchups. But I mean, we've got a rookie starting and a guy that's normally not a starter starting for a guy with a broken leg. So it's up to you. Just another sample of how you can go about drafting a team. We're going to click on enter the tournament, and it's telling us to please wait, and it's loading lineups. We'll minimize this nice chat window over here. And as you can see, it says we're entered in the bracket free roll. Shows our lineup over here. Now on their site, this is new. If you want to join more games, you need to click the join more games, and then you can go through and check boxes next to each of the teams that you want, and you'll automatically enter them with it deducting money from your account. So I hope that you found this tutorial video helpful, and I hope you enjoyed it, and have a great day.